morning to my two favorite ears. Those are yours. Hi everyone, my name is Rebecca and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking it out. I'm here today to talk about one of the most basic questions I get in the office probably every day, to be honest. Would a behind the ear hearing aid or an in the ear hearing aid be the best fit for me personally? Now, for full disclosure, I am a hearing aid specialist and I work in Hampton Roads at Nova Hearing Centers. If you want to book an appointment there with me or one of the other specialists, you can always go to novahearingcenter.com to actually talk about this for real. But if you're not local, please be aware that all of this stuff is regulated state by state. And just because I have information for somebody does not mean that you and your state is going to necessarily agree with me. So beware of that. And all of these videos are for entertainment purposes. Please do not take this as medical advice. Even if it sounds like you, it's not always you. Got it? All right, let's get started. Well, hearing aids have had many form factors throughout history. Of course, it began with horns, then went to auricles, which are like those tiny little baby horns that you kind of hook on your ear. Then the wide cord hearing aid, body hearing aid, and then what we have today, which is behind the ear or in the ear hearing aid styles. There was also like an at the ear hearing aid style that was kind of just like a whole unit on the ear. I don't really know much about that though. Let's start with behind the ear hearing aids since they're more popular. So behind the ear hearing aids are the current largest share of the hearing aid market. They were designed for people with sloping hearing losses. I know I haven't gone over any configurations or anything. I'll do that in a video real soon. But basically that just means that they do better with lower frequencies than they do with higher frequencies, or they have more hearing loss in the higher frequencies, which is a majority of at least the older population that you see in a hearing aid office. BTEs usually utilize a more elaborate microphone system so it can make smart decisions about what it wants you to listen to. This is both due to the size of the unit being a little bit bigger and the fact that it's placed on the back of the ear instead of inside the actual ear canal. This will allow more advanced hearing aids to make smart decisions about things, such as narrowing your directionality when you're somewhere with a lot of background noise to isolate the person that's talking, or it's expanding the microphones in order to hear nature when you're in a quieter outdoor type of environment. Isn't that cool? By contrast, an in-the-ear hearing aid was designed for somebody with a flat or the very scientifically named cookie bite loss. Yes, that's really what we call it, a cookie bite loss. That's when your lows and your highs are equal, but your mids are kind of not so good. Flat is just where you're the same everywhere. So both of them involve having lows and highs that are about in the same sort of place, and it's usually better to fill up the ear canal when something like that's the case. When you deal with behind the ear hearing aids with those types of patients, they'll often say that it sounds kind of weak or tinny, not a very full sound. The real content has arrived, everybody. I want you to meet Sunny. He's one of my kitty cats. Say hi, big guy. Hey. Oh, I'll let you go. He always wants to come up and say hi, but then when he's up, he gets all mad. So what was I saying? ITEs are good for people whose highs aren't so bad. They're kind of more equivalent to the lows. In reality, though, a lot of people choose in-the-ear hearing aids for aesthetic reasons. They can reach a lot smaller of a size than any sort of behind-the-ear hearing aid can, and they're a lot less profile. The way that their microphones work are very different from behind the ears. So because they're small, usually they can only fit like 1 or 2 mics. Sometimes you even are upcharged for it, even now, which kind of sucks, but whatever. Effect, which the pin is like the outsides of your ears, so it just essentially uses the shape of your ears to mimic what hearing is supposed to sound like naturally, which is a good and a bad thing. Some people really like it, but then you just kind of get into what's better, man, which is already questionable in this case because the hearing's not good, or machine, which can maybe hear in ways that we never really could. But now that it's the 2020s, throughout the 2010s, we had all these new convenience features, which are kind of the bane of me, and I'm probably always going to say sarcastically. They're really, really great, but What I'm currently referring to as convenience features are, one, rechargeability, which has been a huge shift in the hearing aid market, and two, which is Bluetooth compatibility, which has also been a huge shift in the hearing aid market. These are really, really good features, and there's a lot of really great uses for them, but sometimes they're not available in everything, and we have to start making decisions about how necessary these features are in comparison to what sort of audiological benefit we might actually receive from that type of hearing aid. It is normally expected for convenience type stuff to be approved on BTEs first. I'm not like an FDA agent or somebody that works for like ANSI or standards organization, but I like have to just generally assume that when you can just stamp out a product on a machine over and over again, it's a lot easier to get approved by any sort of standards regulation as opposed to something that's going to be custom every time. Look, I have the utmost faith in most of these manufacturers and their custom labs. I've had very few issues with really anything. But at the same time, I know that different ears and different anatomy can be the make or break decision for whether a feature might be available or not in certain circumstances. I don't know what to say. It's where we are right now. Whoa, you guys okay? Bernie, if you're going to start hissing, you need to at least say hello. This is Bernadette. She's my sweet little girl. Say hi. Yeah, she just wants to leave. Anyway, I'm curious to see what happens in the future with hearing aids. Are behind the ears and in the ears really the end game, or are we going to go somewhere else with it? Is there something else that's better than any of that? I think that in-the-ear hearing aids are going to make a little bit of a comeback in the next few years. I don't see a reason not to. We have things like AirPods and other different half-shell type ear pods in general, and now we have the ability to do the Bluetooth and the rechargeable kits. I don't see a reason why customs shouldn't make a comeback. I think that Bluetooth's going to be soon available in a lot of things. Maybe not IICs because it's almost like transmitting through your head, but certainly anything that sort of shows. The future moves on, and who knows where we're going to go. If you are a hearing aid wearer, let me know in the comments what type of style you're currently wearing. Have you ever tried the other style, and did you like it better or worse, and why? Or are you interested in trying another style? Whatever you want to say. It's all up to you guys. You're the audience. Anyway, so if you can like and subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, all those awesome things, I love hearing, especially from y'all. So thanks so much for stopping by the channel, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. Bye.